This C-SPAN documentary was created for the sake of arguments over whether religion classes should be taught in school or not. Some people say that religion should definitely be a class, while others argue that this would be a very bad idea, unless certain guidelines were followed. Should religion be taught in school?
You know, how we handle religion in this country is by a First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, which applies to the public schools and what happens in them. It doesn't apply necessarily to the private school, but it applies to the public school. Should religion be taught? Well, yes, you should be able to teach about religion in the public schools. That's been the decision of the United States Supreme Court for some time. So you can teach about religion, but you can't teach religion itself.
This is another relevant issue for me because in Ellettsville school systems until this year, fourth grade children all were pulled out an hour a week to go to a religious education class. That was not a comparative religions class, which would have been pretty interesting, but in fact it was a Christian heroes, I think, was the theme. I don't think they were teaching about Buddha or the Dalai Lama. I think it was pretty much just Jesus. So I had a problem with that.
I think that religion should be taught in school because everyone is getting a taste of each other's culture, and so you know how other people live. But then again, I do think that the teacher probably shouldn't express their own opinion.
Well, I don't think religion should be taught in school because some people aren't really religious.
You know, it should be. In my opinion, it should be. And I say that because, again, I don't want it to sound like I'm preaching, but when you talk about a subject like this, the answer almost has to sound like the guy's preaching. But I feel like today there's a spiritual war going on today. There's no doubt that whether it's the media showing more bad, but I feel like with this war going on today, when they took prayer out of school, we kind of took some of our defense out of our schools.
Well, I think religion probably can be taught in school, so I'm not against it. But I think it should be taught as another subject rather than the practice of it.
If religious classes and clubs in public schools are appropriate, if those opportunities are made available to any religious class or club. Clubs in particular. Classes, I don't know that you can make classes available to all religions, but clubs, if a group wants to have a religious club about Buddhism or Hinduism or Judaism or Christianity, I don't understand. I would probably favor allowing those club activities to take place as long as it's clear that any religion is going to be honored instead of just...
For all grades or a certain grade?
It should probably be just one grade for if it's an optional class, it should just be that grade for that class.
I'd say all grades because you want everybody to know about it.
It should be all grades. And this program we're promoting, we'll actually have one teacher hired in this elective class. And what I'm saying is, the young, you know, you don't start teaching algebra to first grader. But the young are so trusting that when you get into the truth, they can really grasp the truth at a young age. But it'd be a milder form of Christianity. You don't really get into it heavy. But I think, yeah, I think at all ages it should be offered.
Probably middle school, high school, elementary probably is not a good place to teach.
Well, this would be up to the local area and to the teacher and to the school board and what the school board thinks.
Should it be an optional class or required?
I think it would be like any other course. I think it should be an optional thing. You already have religion taught in school. You have Eastern religions that are taught in every school in this state. There should also be an opportunity for individuals to pursue other religious interests, such as Christianity or Hinduism or Buddhism. They should have an opportunity to study whichever religion they choose to. And if there's enough interest, then a class should be offered in that.
I think it should be required. Okay, given this current situation now all over the world, like somebody has to know about languages, about history, about geography. Religion is also something that defines people, so I think it's probably one of the things that children should know, that students should know. So.
Well, I think that probably it would be very difficult. I think that school boards would find it difficult to require a course about religion in public schools. I think that they would find that that would be difficult. We have many, many different kinds of religions in this country, and they're protected by our freedom of religion.
One simply cannot understand the American experiment of ordered liberty without also understanding the role of faith in God and the tenets of Scripture in the lives of the nation's founders. Consider with me also tonight the history of the birth of the American institutions of education. The Massachusetts School Law of 1647 established the first public school system in the United States. It was expressly intended to teach children to read and write so they could understand the Scriptures. In fact, the Bible itself was their textbook.
Should all religions be taught in school?
And that's probably more harder questions, given there are probably a few hundred religions all over the world. But maybe the major ones should be taught. Okay, well, let me explain a little bit. When I say major religions, I think in terms of major religions, it's probably number of people who follow that religion, and also I would think, given the Western, in terms of Western civilization, probably there is, like, say for example, Judaism is not practiced by a lot of people, but it has influence on both Christianity and Islam. So I think when I say major religion, I probably mean 3 or 4, like Judaism, Christianity, Islam, maybe Buddhism also, because Buddhists constitute like 1/5 of humanity, I guess, or more than that. Okay, so that's kind of like my concept of major religions.
Yeah, I think it'd be best to know other religions too.
I say the Muslims are not teaching Christianity, and the Buddhists are not teaching Christianity. And then I get back to the fact that this country is a Christian nation. So I feel like by the fact that this is a Christian nation, other beliefs really have no equal claim in this country, as especially in prayer. Prayer in schools, prayer in military gatherings, they don't have an equal share, because this is a truly Christian nation. Not they shouldn't be outlawed, but they don't have equal balance, as we don't have equal balance with the Muslims or the Buddhists or the Jews. So I feel like, no, I honestly don't think so.
Thank you for watching our C-SPAN documentary. We hope it helps broaden your mind and your thinking about religion in classes being taught in school.